Jamal Murray hits another three. Donovan Mitchell does it again. All right, so the series is finally over. Denver Nuggets, they defeated the Utah Jazz, and this was an old Western style shootout, if you know what I'm talking about. I never watched Western movies, but I do know that they did nothing but shootouts, and that's what this series was mainly. It was Donovan Mitchell versus Jamal Murray for the most part. Shootout after shootout, game after game. One guy goes for 50 points. Okay, I'll go for 40 and get the win. Oh, you want to go for 40? I'll go for 50 and get the win. Just going back and forth, things like that. This is one of the most fun, exciting series of my time being a basketball fan. I became a fan in what year? It was 2012 when we had Andre Drummond and Greg Monroe. I was a fan. So since then, the best series I can remember is, the finals, LeBron versus the Warriors, the Spurs versus LeBron, Thunder versus the Clippers in the playoffs, Spurs versus Clippers, things like that. Memphis, they had some good series, but this series is right up there with the best of them. One of the most memorable, one of the most fun. I'll always remember Donovan Mitchell and Jamal Murray going back and forth at it game after game, 40, 50-point games. I'll always remember that series, especially compared to the rest of the playoffs so far. Most of the round ones were, pretty, you expected them to go this way. The Rockets is another pretty interesting series, but the other ones, have been pretty much washes. So, hopefully the second round will be more interesting playoff games, with teams like the Clippers versus the Nuggets. That's going to be very exciting. But let's stick on this series mainly. I want to talk about, it sucks to see because, I feel like in history, we're going to remember this. We're going to remember this series, but we're going to really forget about eventually, we're going to forget about the losing team, the Utah Jazz. We're going to forget about how good Rudy Gobert played in the fourth quarter of this final game. We're going to forget about how great Donovan Mitchell was in this game, because usually the loser gets forgotten in most battles and most wars, and I feel like the Jazz are eventually going to get forgotten in this playoff series. Them losing is going to be forgotten. We're all going to remember Jamal Murray shining, Jamal Murray going crazy, Jokic hitting the game winner. Well, it wasn't technically a game winner, but you know what I mean if you watch the game. It was a game winner. He hit the final shot. No other points were scored. And it was shocking because I thought they did give the ball to Jamal Murray, and he struggled this game. And fun fact, Jamal Murray in all three, because he's been in three currently, Game 7s. In the past 3 Game 7s, Jamal Murray has a total of 1 3-pointer. So, it's Jamal Murray in Game 7 so far. He hasn't been clutch at all. He hasn't showed up. Maybe the pressure gets to him, but he didn't. He had a really rough night yesterday, and Jokic had to really step up his game. And they ended up pulling it out because of Jokic with the basically game-winning shot at the end. So it sucks for the Utah Jazz, but Denver Nuggets fans, y'all should hold y'all heads high. You guys, next round we'll have to play the Clippers. That's going to be a really rough series for you guys. I don't see you guys having a shot at that at all. That game, that's probably going to go 5 or 6. I really don't believe you guys have a chance against the Clippers, but you can still hold your heads high that you had a pretty good round 1 and you got to the second round. And if you lose to the Clippers, hey, you probably lost to the NBA champions if the Clippers win a championship. And if you're the Utah Jazz, all you can say is, hey, now you know that Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell can coexist. There isn't any beef, because I remember the rumors about Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert having beef. It's not real. That was fake news. These two get along pretty well, and now you know that. So, you can head into this offseason saying, okay, we can continue to build around Donovan Mitchell, and we can still keep Rudy Gobert, and we don't have to trade him. Even though Rudy Gobert is 29 years old, and I would probably trade him because he's getting around that age where he's about to fall off a cliff. So, if you guys remember Roy Hibbert had a season where he was 29 years old. He was the best defensive player in the NBA, and then the next year he completely fell off the map. And nobody even remembers Roy Hibbert for the most part when he played for the Indiana Pacers with Paul George and Lance Stevenson, that team. Yeah, but that was this video. Let me know what y'all think in the comments. I'm really curious to hear what y'all thought about this series. Was it really interesting like they said it was? Was it just hyped up? Because it could be just, hype. So let me know what y'all think in the comments below. I'm out.